session for the NASCAR Nationwide Series leading up to Sunday afternoon's STP 300 that you'll see live on ESPN. Drivers getting ready to buckle in, cars being ready to be rolled out onto the racetrack. Great field of talent here this weekend at Chicagoland with a lot of potential winners in the field. We go straight to the garage. Here's Vince Welch.
He is the championship points leader, Elliott Sadler, getting ready for this initial practice here at Chicagoland Speedway. And as if the car and the track aren't challenging enough, you're not feeling well. Give us an update on what's going on with you health-wise.
Well, I got a real bad stomach virus. I think my son had it beginning of the week, and then I got it. So I've been in bed about 36 hours straight. So I got up this morning and feel a little bit better, and hopefully should be better by tomorrow. So at least I'm on the backside of it, going back the right way now.
What precautions have you taken in relation to the heat that we're going to face this weekend?
Well, I was doing my normal deal, getting ready this week, but I got to really do a better job the next 24 hours being sick. That I got to really hydrate my body. I got to really go the extra mile to make sure I'm hydrated for tomorrow, being I hadn't eaten anything. I'm a little weak right now, so I'll take care of myself pretty special the next 24 hours. And the weird part about it is my doctor from home is actually up here with us on the trip because we always come to Chicago early. So I've got him at work. He's working a little bit the next couple of days to get ready for the race, but we should be fine. You get in a fast race car, and our Hunt Brothers pizza car will be fast, so that usually makes you feel a little better.
Indeed, and running for the Dash for Cash this weekend too, so $100 grand would put a smile on Elliott's face, Alan.
Absolutely, Vince. Round 2 of the Nationwide Insurance Dash for Cash. Talk more about the 4 eligible drivers in just a minute. NASCAR Nationwide Series Championship standings entering Sunday's race. Boy, it's close, as it has been throughout the season, and as we expect it to be right on down through the final races of the year. 4 drivers, 32 points, or 32 places on the racetrack, including Sam Hornish Jr., who continues his steady creep toward that front in the Penske Dodge. Sam right now in 4th in the championship. Only one Sprint Cup regular in the field for this weekend's race. Mike Massaro is standing by that driver's car.
And that, of course, is Kyle Busch looking to take advantage of an off weekend on the Cup side of things to turn his Nationwide Series program around. The last couple of weeks, less than stellar, 23rd and 28th. In a word, his crew chief, Mike Beam, described it as terrible. So much, in fact, they spent this entire week doing homework, including a full day on the chassis dyno. But it's not just the race car, Beam says. Beam has emphasized they need to stop making mistakes. The first step toward a flawless weekend begins right now in this first practice session as they try to dial in on Kyle Busch's first Nationwide Series win of 2012, Alan.
All right, Mike, thank you, and we welcome you to the beginning of a very busy weekend of coverage of the NASCAR Nationwide Series from Chicagoland Speedway. Inside the ESPN pit studio, Alan Bestwick with champion driver Dale Jarrett and champion crew chief Andy Petrie. In a word, opportunity.
Yeah, it is a great opportunity, Alan. As we just said, one Sprint Cup driver in this field, so opportunity is there for these Nationwide Series regulars. Now, they've already won 3 of the 4 races on 1.5 mile tracks, so that gives them a lot of hope and ambition that they can go on and continue that streak here. Can someone like a Sam Hornish go to victory lane and know that he's going to gain some more points and get himself even closer? I think that opportunity is there for him, along with a lot of others that are looking for that first victory of the season. So it should be for a very eventful Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, and that one driver is Kyle Busch, and he's the guy that's won so many of these races that you expect him to be the guy to beat every week. This year has just been tough. Just like Mike said, it is weighing on the team. I was down in the garage area today talking to some of the team members. They've got a lot of talent on that team, not just Kyle and Mike Beam, but they've got a lot of talented people over there, and they're really frustrated with the problems that they've had. And it's going to be, to me, an opportunity for Kyle, to get in the car this week and get a win for the team and try to right that ship. I think that's what they're looking to do, and they've just had so much bad luck when Kyle's behind the wheel.
It is a weekend of opportunity for all the drivers and teams, chance to grab some spotlight and grab a win, but it will not be easy. Very difficult conditions this weekend. Forecast high for Sunday's race, 95 degrees.
Yeah, that's going to be tough. It's going to change the setup quite a bit because that nighttime racing, you get a lot of grip. It's a lot easier to really make a car work there. These hot temperatures on that track, they'll make it a lot different. I talked to Jimmy Elledge. They won the race last year, and he said it's going to take a whole different setup and a whole deal for them to be able to do it again.
Yeah, and these drivers are going to have to deal with things. I always tell people they want to know how hot does it get inside these race cars. You can generally figure it's going to be 40 to 50 degrees hotter than the outside temperatures. That's putting it up probably over 140 degrees inside these cars. very easy to get dehydrated if you're not careful. But the other thing they have to deal with is a very slick and bumpy racetrack. These teams and drivers will be really working hard in these practice sessions to see if they can find some grip somewhere on this racetrack and with these race cars.
And you lead my next question for you is, okay, so you're buckling in, you're getting ready to go out for your first laps on a track you haven't raced on since last September. All right, that's not anything new. But this racetrack has seemed to maybe change more than most over the course of an off season because of the Midwest winters, and that's got to be on your mind.
Yeah, it really is. You wonder how much more are the bumps going to affect you. I think that's the biggest thing. And then they've had an extremely hot summer, so you know that's going to factor in too. So it really, you want to go out and get the most out of your car right off, but you know you have to be a little bit careful on that too.
Yeah, and one thing I love about this, all these challenges you're talking about, I think it's going to make for a great race because it's going to make the track get wide. Drivers are going to have to look everywhere to try to find grip, and that's going to make for a great race on Sunday.
And that great race on Sunday is part of a very busy weekend of motorsports coverage here on the ESPN networks. After we do this inaugural first of the weekend Nationwide Series practice, we've got the final practice for you coming up at 2 Eastern time as well. Then later on today, 5 Eastern time, the Mopar Mile High NHRA Nationals qualifying, ESPN2. NASCAR Nationwide Series qualifying is Sunday at 11:30 a.m. Eastern, also here on ESPN2, followed by the American Le Mans Series Grand Prix of Mosport. That's 1 Eastern time tomorrow. The STP 300 is over on ESPN from Chicagoland Speedway, coverage starting at 2 Eastern time with NASCAR Countdown. And we wrap up the motorsports weekend with the Mopar Mile High NHRA Nationals Finals, 7 Eastern time Sunday night on ESPN2. Cars are on the track at Chicagoland when we come back. Gotta be honest with you, that looks awfully inviting on a day when it's going to get up into the mid-90s here at Chicagoland Speedway. Little beachside action down in Chicago. The old Sears Tower there in the background. I forget what the name of it is now that they call it. Used to be known as the Sears Tower. How about the cool little beach thing designed to look like a cruise ship?
A little surfing.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute, grass surfing.
That's okay.
That's pretty cool.
It is, actually. Throw the beanbags around. There are a good number of campers all lined up around Chicagoland Speedway for this weekend's doubleheader. Of course, NASCAR's Camping World Truck Series and the ARCA Series going to race today, and then the Nationwide Series STP 300 on Sunday. Danica Patrick, Illinois native, Roscoe, Illinois, about 90 miles away from this racetrack. Danica rolling out onto the speedway. Interesting to note because sometimes when you just look at pure finishes, you say, well, is Danica really going anywhere? But as she makes her second and third starts at racetracks, the numbers improve some.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. She really is becoming much more comfortable with this and improving. As you watch these races and put the finishes aside, you see a driver that it really is kind of getting what it takes to drive these cars and be more competitive, and I think that will only continue.
Mike Massaro with more on the 7.
And yeah, guys, I spoke with her crew chief, Tony Uri Jr., yesterday in the garage, and they're trying to keep the expectations rather realistic. He told me the goal this weekend, simply to finish. But that doesn't mean they're not doing their homework to help her prepare for this particular race. Uri sent a videotape of Jamie McMurray's in-car camera from last September's race here for Danica to study and compare to her in-car techniques to get a better understanding how he drove this racetrack, where he turned, where he apex, braked, etc. He's hoping that pays off here this afternoon.
All right, Mike, thanks. We'll keep an eye on Danica and see if she makes any long runs in this practice, which will lead to another topic of discussion where the driver of the 7 has been concerned coming into this weekend's race. Mention that this is a nationwide insurance dash for cash race. Austin Dillon winning the $100,000 at New Hampshire last Saturday, highest finisher of the 4 dash for cash drivers there. And the other top 3 championship eligible drivers in the Nationwide Series, finishers in New Hampshire, eligible for the $100,000 here. Those 4 drivers, top finisher of them in the race, $100,000. And Vince, based on mile-and-a-half track so far this season, would not be surprised if it were Ricky Stenhouse Jr.
That's exactly right, Alan. 3 wins for Ricky Stenhouse Jr. this season. 2 of those have come on mile-and-a-half tracks. They have run well here in the past. And remember last time we were talking about Ricky there at New Hampshire, that 5th place finish and making himself eligible for this Dash for Cash event. We're also talking about how he was falling ill after that heroic 5th place effort. I talked to Ricky just before he got into the race car today. He said he's feeling a lot better, and you could even see it in his face. He looked like he was 100% today as he gets ready to roll for practice.
Practice has just started, and practice will stop for just a moment because there is debris on the racetrack.
Piece of paper out there.
Yeah, a lot of times they get prepared. Somebody might leave a wrench or something like that, and you never know. You try to
Always hate it when it's yours.
Yeah.
You engrave your name or your team name on all the tools. And pick the safety crews will pick up the wrench or whatever, bring it back to you. It's always embarrassing if it has your initials on it.
Yeah, you don't think they mention it to you at all.
Yeah, they do. They don't
Alan,
like
you
it.
talked about opportunity, and I look at two drivers. We couldn't talk about everybody, obviously. Travis Pastrana here, but two guys at the top of the list right now. Parker Clearman in that 22 car that just won last week, and then Ryan Truex, the opportunity in the 18 car. Both of these drivers have a chance to win here this weekend, so already out and going pretty fast.
We think that spring rubber, cause of the debris, came out of Travis Pastrana's car. They're going to want that back.
Yeah,
or at least replace it with one.
They got some spares.
Yeah, there you go. Talk with Mike Ricci, who is crew chiefing for Travis Pastrana this weekend, and had some interesting thoughts on what they want to accomplish with Travis this weekend. We have seen him struggle some in his attempts to make the transition to the NASCAR Nationwide Series, and one of the big topics of conversation was tires. In the K&N East Series races, where Ricci is the regular crew chief for Pastrana, they run a bias ply tire, which has a more flexible sidewall to it. And he said Travis can throw that car around on these oval tracks a lot more like the rally cars and so on that he's been driving. On these radial tires where the sidewall doesn't give as much, he's having a lot more trouble feeling the race car and the racetrack at its grip level.
Yeah, and to the casual fan, it may seem rather simple where they're just tires and, you know, you get a feel for them. But these radial tires are very unforgiving. And, yeah, they help you get speed. They're very durable. But on the other side of it, and trying to figure out where that edge is that you can go to, it's very easy to get there, and then all of a sudden you're over it and spinning out. And that's the difficult thing. And I think that rookies coming in now, in particular, because they don't have the opportunity to really test, it makes it so much more difficult for them to get up to speed and get that feel that they're looking for without going over the edge and tearing up a cliff.
And get behind that 54 car, follow him, watch his line for a bit.
That'd be the best thing you can do right now if he can keep up with him for a few laps. Might learn a lot right here.
Yeah, but that you could also get yourself in trouble trying to keep up with him if you're not careful too.
Yeah, that's true. Just the second try on a 1.5 mile track in the Nationwide Series for Travis Pastrana. Charlotte was the other one. Remember, he had some difficulty, spun a couple times in the race.
Yeah, you talk about watching Kyle Busch. Two things. You find yourself watching him. I know before I quit driving and Kyle Busch came on the scene, I was amazed at some of the things that Kyle Busch could do with his race car. So you have to be careful not doing that. And then there's very few people that can do the things that Kyle Busch can do with the car. But there are opportunities, as you said, if you can stay close enough to see a line that he's taken, you know, how does he get his car there and exactly where does he keep it and to make this speed.
So for Kyle, his 10th try in the Nationwide Series in the Kyle Busch Motorsports entry. Of course, just begun this season, and he and his brother Kurt have been splitting time in this car. And Kurt has the win at Richmond for them. It's easy to forget that Kyle came within a whisker of winning at Talladega. Just a whisker. And how much different the conversation around this car might have been but for those 0.003 of a second.
Well, some of the things that we're talking about, though, are a lot of issues with the team and mistakes that they've made. And even if you're winning races, that comes back, it still is one of those sticking points. I mean, it would be different if they had a couple more wins. This team does have a win. They won with Kurt at Richmond, but I thought for the team, and what's so frustrating for them is that these things keep happening to them when Kyle's driving the car. And they really want to have a good run with him in it. And I'll actually be surprised if he doesn't win this weekend.
Yeah, Andy, you're right. Those mistakes only complicate things and make matters even worse. Alan, I'll go back even further to Daytona, the big 10-car wreck that he almost was through. I mean, probably 3 or 4 inches there to where he got clipped in the right rear that sent him into the wall. He was going to win the race. It looked like he'd gotten through that. So it could have changed everything about their season, but they've really been struggling because they kind of put themselves behind the 8 ball with starting a new team and then having things happen.
Kyle heads to the garage. We head to the garage. Mike?
And Danica Patrick is in the garage as they make some adjustments on the race car. One concern, the water pressure gauge reading 0, but of more concern to Danica, at least from a comfort standpoint, is the steering wheel. They had to make some adjustments to the steering wheel, had to bring it a little bit closer to her. She didn't like where it was sitting, so they made those changes, and she's just about getting ready to go back out.
Got to be comfortable.
Hey, if you don't have, I know it seems, you know, rather minute to a lot of people, but if that steering wheel isn't exactly where you want it and you have that feel, it changes the way that you go about driving the race car and what you may feel with that. So it takes a little long. It's not quite as easy as your passenger car, but they got it down to a science in making that change.
Not going to hit the power adjust on the seat while you're driving those 300 miles?
That's right.
Yeah.
That might take about a day or two for that to actuate.
Austin Dillon, second in the championship. You see he's gained ground on Elliott Sadler in 5 of the last 6 races. Of course, he'd be the championship leader if not for the 2 penalties in post-race technical inspection that this 3 team suffered after the Kentucky race.
Now, you can't say enough good things about what this young man has done with this race car. Coming in here as a rookie, a lot of high expectations, and really living up to that and completing all the laps. I think that's probably the most amazing thing to me, that he's been able to do that in this rookie season.
And do it and run as fast as he's run. I mean, he's been one of the fastest cars on the track every race. Never puts a scratch on the car, brings it back, like I said, he's run all the laps. I talked to Andy Houston, he's a spotter on the roof, and he's very much a coach and everything with Austin. He was talking about just how much he's seen his experience bring his confidence level up, but he's so amazed at how he can do the things that we're talking about and not getting crashes.
Yeah, and the other thing, when you're not crashing cars, I mean, that crew will do anything for you. I mean, they're excited about coming because, you know, they're not having to repair cars every week. All they have to do is improve on what they have.
Last race on a 1.5-mile track, Austin Dillon led 192 of 200 laps. And after the penalty that they got following that Kentucky win, think there's a little edge of, hey, we're going to show you, we're going to do it again. And we're going to go through post-race tech clean, because that's what the boss says. A lot of baseball talk around Chicago this weekend. Cubs great Ron Santo being enshrined into the Baseball Hall of Fame. Harry Carey. Holy cow. Well, that was Phil Rizzuto, wasn't it? Harry, too. And, of course, on the south side, the Chicago White Sox with a big series up in Detroit this weekend for first place in their division. And we remind you about ESPN's coverage of Major League Baseball, continuing Sunday and Monday. Tomorrow night at 8, Josh Hamilton and the Rangers face off against their division rivals. They take on Mike Trout and the Angels. Then Monday night, the Rangers are back, this time hosting Adrian Gonzalez and the Red Sox at 8. Sunday Night Baseball, presented by Taco Bell. Monday Night Baseball, presented by USAA, both on ESPN. Also available on ESPN3 and live on WatchESPN.com and the Watch ESPN app. Chicagoland Speedway, an opening practice for the NASCAR Nationwide Series leading up to Sunday's STP 300. In the headlines this week, the Penske 22, Parker Kligerman aboard today. Headlines being that Penske Racing announced earlier in the week they had signed Ryan Truex to drive 3 races in this car during the course of this season. I talked to Kligerman earlier today in the garage area, said, were those 3 races you were supposed to drive? He said, yes. Did I say Ryan Truex? I did that. I'm going to mess that up all weekend because I'm thinking Ryan Blaney. Ryan Blaney signed to drive that car. Ryan Truex in the field here in the Gibbs 18. Signed Ryan Blaney to drive 3 races. Parker Kligerman said, yes, those were 3 races he was supposed to drive, but he still has a further schedule in the car. And he's got his full-time ride in the Camping World Truck Series. And he said the opportunity is still there for me to prove myself and just keep showing them that I can succeed at this level.
Yeah, but it's still got to be, he sees another youngster getting a chance in this car. It's got to make him really want to step his game up to prove I'm the man. Hey, I'm the guy that needs to be in this car. But it's neat to see Ryan Blaney getting that opportunity as well.
I'm going to hear from Dave Blaney again on that.
Yeah. We'll get it right.
Brian Scott rubbing his hands together over this weekend. Said he's had this one circled on his calendar since the start of the season.
I think if you look at his stats, it shows that this is by far his best track. So I can see why he would want to come here with a lot of confidence.
Absolutely, and if he can just have a little bit of good luck instead of some of the bad luck that seems to follow him and his team around. There's no telling what they could do. Could be right there in the mix Sunday afternoon, see who's going to win this race.
Yep. Was in the mix in this race a year ago and ran out of fuel with 2 laps to go. You can see by looking at those numbers on the mile-and-a-half tracks this year, qualifying's not been the problem. Luck in finishing's been the problem.
Yeah, they've had a lot of speed at these, but you can see a couple of engine problems and getting involved in a couple of crashes. And what makes you really frustrated when you know you have a car that's fast, but you can't get it to the checkered flag.
One of the unique parts about this racetrack, the backstretch that's not straight.
I say that's good. You called it back stretch, because yeah, it is weird. It gives you just a kind of just a different and weird sensation going down that back stretch and see the wall curve away from you, and it takes a little getting used to, but gives you a little bit more room.
I may have messed up Truex and Blaney, but I got back stretch and back straight right. It is different, and it's one of the things. We were having this conversation between us earlier before we went on the air. People talk about this racetrack and Kansas Speedway being identical. Well, actually, they're quite a bit different. That back stretch versus the back straight at Kansas. There's actually 4 more degrees of banking in the corners here than there is at Kansas Speedway as we watch Elliott Sadler out on the track.
Yeah, so it drives quite a bit different. If you look at it, yes, and in my mind, I can see a lot of similarities of coming in the infield, just the area surrounding the racetrack. You get a lot of that same feel. But once you get on the racetrack, you know that you're at a totally different place. This is quite a good bit faster and a good bit rougher on top of that.
But it is now. Wait till we go back.
Yeah.
Kansas is going to have new pavement. It's going to be a lot faster. But I'm watching these bumps, and you're right. I can see this track's a little rougher than I remember even, and it's going to be definitely throwing some curveballs to these guys on the setup.
Had to lift out of the gas coming up off of 4 there, did Elliott Sadler, Vince.
Well, in the first run, Alan, he just felt like there wasn't any front grip. He said he was hoping that it would get better as the tire pressures came up, but it just did not. So that's what they addressed during this initial return to the garage. And then Elliott went out, and in his first lap back out, posted a 31.57, which was second quick on the board. He said it's better, but still not quite there.
Yeah, one of the things that you could struggle with, especially front grip, is if you're hitting the track with that splitter, it just turns the front tires loose. The first thing you need to do if you're having a problem like that, and you suspect that's what's causing it, is just get a little more clearance on the splitter and see if that helps it. If it's in the right direction, they'll go some more, and it sounds like that's what they've done, and they can go do a little bit more of that.
Yeah, and as you try to fix that and work with that as a driver, what complicates your problem there too with the roughness of this track, you get back in the gas really early here, so you're driving hard off these corners, but especially off of turn 2, it flattens out very quickly. You have to make sure that you give yourself enough room there, or you'll find yourself in the wall.
It's pretty easy to identify that as being the problem, though, because if you're pushing, the car's tight, and you raise the front end, you raise that splitter up a little bit, and it gets worse, which is what it should do if it's not hitting, then you know exactly which way you need to go.
Watching Cole Witt in the 88 car. Getting ready to make his first start in the Nationwide Series here at Chicagoland Speedway.
It's another one of those young drivers with a lot of talent, a good race team. But I think also, and I understand the testing policy of saving teams and owners money, because it is very expensive to try to do this, and certainly with sponsors hard to come by. But they would benefit so much more if there were just more opportunities for them to get laps on the track with the proper tires and the cars that they race. It would just help their learning curve so much more. But he's done a tremendous job this year.
You know, I've heard the debate back and forth, because you do talk to some team owners and they say, look, you have to save us from ourselves, because if everybody's going to go testing, then we're going to be out all the time, and you know, testing costs hotels, and you could spend $3,000–4,000 just on fuel for the transporter to drive it out to a distant track and back.
I've been on both sides of that.
Yep. Rookie drivers get an extra set of tires for the practice session here. That's a good step to help them get a little more track time.
Yeah, there's times that you don't use up all the time on the track because you don't have enough tires. They do to give the rookies that extra set, so it keeps them on the track, gives them more laps, more opportunity to learn. But I've been on both sides of that, Alan, just like you're talking about.
Yeah.
Spending all the money as an owner, it's not fun, and you want NASCAR to protect you or protect us from ourselves there, like you said.
Yeah.
But as a crew chief or a driver or a rookie driver, you want that track time. You want to be out there. But So I kind of know what it feels like to be on each side of that issue.
One of the drivers that's a classic case of that, Johanna Long in that 70. Rookie driver, right? Team that's not one of the top funded teams on the circuit. And Vince, they're trying to find their way around here as she looks to make her first Nationwide Series start at this track.
Well, and this is an important race for this team, Alan, because this is a close race to their home shop, which is in Warsaw, Indiana, northern Indiana. Of course, next week at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway will be big for them as well. But they're running a new car, a brand new RCR chassis here this weekend. So they thought they would be starting slow to just kind of figure things out, make sure they had everything in place and she was comfortable with the car, and then they would ramp it up as the practice rolled on. So not very fast right now, but really as expected as they began their practice session.
She's coming off of her best finish of 12th at Daytona last time she was in the car, so she's got a little confidence coming in.
Opening practice for the NASCAR Nationwide Series at Chicagoland Speedway. Brendan Gaughan in the Childress 33 this weekend, looking on as adjustments are made to that car. Navy Pier, Chicago, NASCAR Nationwide Series practice from Chicagoland Speedway. Have the final practice for you coming up later today at 2 Eastern time. The Mopar Mile High NHRA Nationals qualifying follows 5 Eastern today, ESPN2. Then tomorrow, a full day NASCAR Nationwide Series qualifying, 11:30 a.m. Eastern, ESPN2. The American Le Mans Series Grand Prix of Mosport, 1 Eastern, ESPN2. The STP 300 for the NASCAR Nationwide Series. We start with NASCAR Countdown at 2 Eastern. That's on ESPN. And the Mopar Mile High NHRA Nationals finals at 7 Eastern tomorrow on ESPN2. You know, sometimes you get out in the middle of the world of sports and the world of racing and you're doing your thing at the racetrack, and it's easy to be insulated from the rest of the world. But watching the news and, of course, the Mopar Mile High Nationals in the Denver area this weekend, hearts saddened, sickened by the events in Aurora, Colorado over the past 48 hours, and certainly our thoughts and prayers added to the many affected by it.
Yeah, absolutely. Just one of those things that you wish there was something that we could all do for them, but yeah. I guess, just keep them in our prayers would be the best thing right now.
Yes, sir. And here at Joliet, Chicagoland Speedway, watching the defending series champ, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., on track in the Roush Fenway Racing number 6. All right, Andy, pop quiz. How many wins in NASCAR National Series competition? That's all 3 top divisions, Trucks, Nationwide Series, Sprint Cup. Does Roush Fenway Racing have here at Chicagoland Speedway?
Well, the way you phrased it, I'm going to have to say it's probably a low number, like none.
You would be correct.
Yeah.
Hard to believe, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
It really is.
I mean,
I wouldn't have thought that. Only reason I answered that correctly is because the way you would never ask that unless it was something crazy like none.
I got to do a better job of that.
Yeah, it is hard to believe, though. No wins at this track for all series.
And, in the Nationwide Series, both races here a year ago, Carl Edwards was a huge factor, and he dominated this race a year ago, led like 144 of 200 laps.
And almost had enough gas.
And almost had enough gas. But ran out of gas half a lap from the finish. And Justin Allgaier coasted around more quickly than Carl did. And then in the race here last September, Carl actually ran out of gas, trying to stretch the fuel a little bit to get to a fuel window. And by the time he coasted in, got his fuel, Brad Keselowski came in, made his green flag pit stop, went by Carl. That 12-second swing of track position, Brad led the rest of the race and won it. So it's up to Ricky Stenhouse Jr. this weekend, Vince, to try and get Roush Fenway off the Chicago shutout.
That's exactly right, and they're getting there. They came into the practice session with a plan. They were going to go out the first run with their baseline setup, then they were going to come in, make some geometry changes. They did that, went back out, and Ricky says it's better over the bumps, but still not as comfortable or as fast as he would like it to be. So they're going to come back in and tweak on it a little bit more.
Well, he likes racing on Sunday. That's what we're going to be doing. He's won the last 2 Sunday races that the Nationwide Series has had. So
that's a good thing, because starting next year, he's going to be racing on Sunday a lot.
Well, maybe that's the day he likes to race.
Bet he hopes that streak continues, too.
But back to that just 1 second. You think about how great Roush Fenway has been, the drivers that they've had, and you go all the way back when we started racing here, but it was Jeff Burton and Mark Martin, and of course you've got Kenseth and Biffle and Carl Edwards there now. But you just think about all the opportunities and how good they've been on this type of racetrack, and for them to be shut out is pretty phenomenal.
It's mind-boggling is what it is. Brendan Gaughan saw him watching work being done on this 33 car earlier. Back out to try those adjustments out.
Heartbreaking loss for this team last week, though, at New Hampshire with Kevin Harvick behind the wheel.
It's been kind of a theme this season for this 33 when Kevin's been behind the wheel. And he lead a lot of laps and find a way in the late stages of the race for something to go wrong, be it strategy or traffic as it were last week.
Yeah, I mean, he just dominated in so many of these things and then lose them at the end. It's got to be frustrating, but they got a lot of races left here. They got a good car. It's fast every week, so they've got opportunities that are going to be there for them to win races.
Yeah, it has to be exciting for Brendan Gaughan to know that he's getting in a car that's been fast so many times, got a really good crew, and give him an opportunity to showcase his talents and see if he can get them to victory lane.
5th place finish in Las Vegas, mile-and-a-half track for Brendan Gaughan earlier this season aboard this 33 car for Richard Childress Racing. Kyle Busch has set the fastest lap so far in the opening NASCAR Nationwide Series practice at Chicagoland Speedway. Headed for 90 degrees plus at Chicagoland Speedway today. NASCAR Nationwide Series opening practice on track on this very fast mile-and-a-half. Final practice also covered live here on ESPN2 in just a little while. Sam Hornish Jr. in the 12 car. 4th in the championship, one of the 4 drivers in the Nationwide Insurance Dash for Cash competition on Sunday. Sam knows the way to victory lane at this racetrack. Of course, it was in an Eyes-On IndyCar Series machine on 2 occasions. Agree or disagree, but he can't be far away from another Nationwide Series win, the way they've been running.
Yeah, if you look at what he's done, he's moving closer and closer to the point lead. He's only 32 points out of the lead now, and you see him do that steadily over the last probably, 5 or 6 weeks. I think he's got obviously the talent to win. He's done it in this series, and I think he's definitely going to be a contender for the championship.
Yeah, 6 out of the last 8 races, been in the top 10. So that's the kind of things that you have to do to get yourself in a position to win. Vince, they seem to be headed in the right direction.
Yeah, and they had a really good run here last year. He scored a 5th place finish in September. Remember, they had that bad pit stop that probably cost him a legitimate shot at winning that particular race. You see the blue fin on the back of the car, giving fans the indicator that he is in the Dash for Cash. And right now, just trying to get the rear end of the car to feel a little bit better. In fact, to get a feel to it at all. He says he just has no feel in the rear of the car. Too tight over the bump, certainly too tight to put any wheel into it.
Hey, you know, Vince, here's what I like about what I'm seeing from Sam, besides those steady numbers that are being put up on the racetrack. DJ got out of the car last weekend at New Hampshire after finishing in the top 5 and wasn't satisfied.
Yeah, and that's what you have to be as a driver. And I think that's coming with confidence in his race team and more in his ability to help them get these cars to where they perform better. You know, we've seen Sam over the last year or so be fast at a lot of places, but man, that car really seemed to be hung out, and he would cross that edge a few times. Now I think that they still have the speed, but they've got the car driving better, and of course he's able to help communicate that what he's needing in the race car to them better, and so it's providing better finishes for them.
I think one of the things that's helping Sam right now and will help him for the next few weeks is he's going to be in the Cup Series running the Cup car. And I think that if you see drivers that do that, I think it really does help no matter who it is. I don't care if it's a young guy that gets like Stenhouse when he gets to run a weekend in the Cup car. I think he's better in the Nationwide car when he does it. I think it's going to help Sam too, being in that 22 Cup car for a few weeks.
Of course, the A.J. Allmendinger story still playing out. The scheduled test of the B sample from Allmendinger's NASCAR Substance Abuse Program test, where the A sample failed him, put him outside of parameters, is scheduled and upcoming. And Roger Penske said if Allmendinger's B sample test clears, then A.J. goes back into that 22 Cup car. But for now, Sam behind the wheel of it until further notice, and until that situation is resolved. Austin Dillon has posted the 7th fastest lap of this session so far.
Yeah, and he's done it here in the last run. This run he just made. That says he's getting the car better as he goes.
Yeah, I was talking to Austin before practice a little bit, and just saying your comfort level, you know, from when you started the season, it seemed like you were, even though you're doing a great job, a little conservative, filling things out. And he said, you know, as I go to these tracks the second time, he said, I feel a lot better. He says, I'm really looking forward to the second half of the season where he feels like he can be even more aggressive and go after wins a little bit more.
Well, that's the thing. I was talking to Andy Houston, his father, about it. He was saying you can just see the confidence in him. The way he carries himself, he's want to race now. He feels like he's just, with that confidence level, he's getting better on restarts. It's every part of his game he can see improvement.
You talk about confidence level and finding improvement. Think about all the things Danica Patrick had to learn in her transition to stock car racing, from the way the pit road speed works and the pit stops and the restarts and the whole thing. And now the next step for Patrick, according to Danica, where she feels like she's been able to have speed at either the beginning or end of a run, is to find a way to, and I'll quote, deal with the car over a long run to have speed throughout an entire run. And Mike, she's working on that right now in this 7 out on the track.
Yeah, she is. And you guys were talking about the character of this racetrack earlier in the show. I think Andy made the point that it has some pretty significant bumps. Well, those bumps have been a bit of an issue for Miss Patrick.
Secure enough getting in now?
Not really. I definitely felt it swing a little loose getting in and getting out. The biggest thing that I found there was that I just have to wait for it, honestly. If I pick up the throttle just a little bit too early, I lose everything in the front and I just push up the track.
Danica said her biggest concern after that radio transmission was that she just cannot be as aggressive as she would like getting into the corner. I spoke with her crew chief, Tony Eury Jr., moments ago. He told me they've made some shock and spring adjustments almost all the way around this race car, just trying to tighten it up.
Yeah, there's going to be times. I mean, these long runs are going to help her, making long runs and seeing what the car does and maybe what she might need different in the car for those kind of runs. But one of the things she has to learn to deal with is a car that's not handling right, and how to move around and find a way in the middle of a run, a long run in a race, to make speed and not lose much time.
Yeah, that's really what separates drivers, are those ones that do have that ability, because the car very seldom does it drive really good. And so you have to overcome that and make speed. And the things that she's talking about within a race car too, as we have caution on the track now, but it's being able to carry speed into the corner. That's going to change the way the car acts as she tries to go back to the throttle, because if you can carry a little bit more speed, you've got a little bit more downforce. Then as you go back to the throttle and you'll go harder, the car's going to be planted a little bit better, so you'll carry that speed.
Debris in turns 3 and 4, reason for the red flag in the practice session. Somebody left something out there that they weren't supposed to. So Tony Eury Jr. will go huddle with Danica Patrick and talk about what they might want to tune up on that Chevrolet before sending her back out onto the track for more practice when things resume here at Chicagoland Speedway. ESPN's coverage of Major League Baseball continues Sunday and Monday. First tomorrow night at 8, Josh Hamilton and the Rangers face off against their division rivals when they take on Mike Trout and the Angels. Then Monday night, the Rangers are back, this time hosting Adrian Gonzalez and the Red Sox at 8. Sunday night baseball presented by Taco Bell. Monday night baseball presented by USAA, both on ESPN. Both games available on ESPN3 and live on WatchESPN.com and the Watch ESPN app.
You see him working on the track bar, trying to get a little clearance. You can see he lowered that track bar to as far as it would go. The lower you put that track bar, the tighter the car is, the more rear grip you can gain. And evidently that's what they're looking for. And they're trying to, what they're grinding there is to keep it from rubbing the wheel. When you start getting really low like they are there, that thing will rub the inside lip of the wheel if you don't pay close attention to it.
That creates serious problems.
Looking for some sort of pun in there about grinding out a practice session today, but I wasn't coming up with a good one. Justin Allgaier, defending winner of this race, Illinois driver with an Illinois sponsor on his car, and a huge number of guests coming out to the race on Sunday, hoping to see a repeat of what they saw in this event a year ago. Final lap, Carl Edwards leading 60. Out of fuel.
This is an exciting finish right here.
Allgaier goes to the point. He runs out of fuel.
You can see Carl, he's trying to coast as fast as he can, taking the shortest distance, and now they're both out of fuel.
That's one of the craziest things I'd ever seen.
Third place, Trevor Bayne, is about a third of a lap behind them. And Justin Allgaier coasted to the checkered flag for a huge victory. And then they all had to walk to victory lane.
Yeah, I don't care how you have to get there, as long as that's where you're headed. Just adjusted a little bit earlier, too. And about his season, obviously would be much more excited if he thought that they were battling for victories a little bit more. But he said, because we're just, underfunded a little bit. We don't have that affiliation with the Cup team. He said we feel like that hurts us. He said, but we're still battling, and we know this weekend's a great opportunity for us to try to get back to victory lane. He's excited, really likes this racetrack, and I'll be talking to him tomorrow on the radio. He's excited about answering your questions that you'll send in. We'll see what Justin's got to say.
Our ESPN In-Race Reporter. Go to ESPN.com, keyword In-Race Reporter, and suggest some questions. I know you're always open to suggestions.
Always open to suggestions. Sometimes I don't like what people suggest. Not the questions, other things.
I understand. That's
It's like a guitar up on the lift gate.
pretty sporty looking.
Yeah.
I couldn't quite read the words on the plaque there, but it said something about presented to Justin Allgaier. They had Justin Allgaier Day at the Brandt corporate headquarters here in Illinois on Thursday, and Justin over there with a chance to meet all the employees, and I guess they're going to have some 400 guests out here Sunday at the race, and I would imagine 400 people would fit in victory lane at the track if they had to.
Oh, they'll find a way.
Yeah.
They'll find a way to fit them in.
Travis Pastrana on the track in the 99. He's not been the only one to drive this 99 car during this practice, apparently, Mike.
No, that's definitely true. Matt Crafton has been kind of Travis Pastrana's mentor after he's making the transition from extreme sports to the Nationwide Series. Crafton spent the first 10 laps of this practice session in the car trying to get a baseline and helping Pastrana understand what he should be feeling in the race car. Since Pastrana's been on the racetrack, Crafton has had much to say to the driver of the 99.
Just got it to the bottom a little quick, and that's going to make you get tight. If you arc it, it's going to make you free up off the corner. If you arc it and you're helping your exit that way by a little bit bigger arc. I felt like I was arcing maybe too much here. You think I was cutting it down too soon? No, we talked about you would arc, and then you would rush it to the bottom a little bit from there.
Crafton has been a fixture at all of Pastrana's races so far this year, trying to help him trace that learning curve, so to speak, trying to give him a better understanding of exactly what he should be feeling in that race car. What you heard over the radio there, just a small sample of the coaching that Crafton has given Pastrana over the past several weeks. In fact, after that last run, Crafton poked his head inside that race car and spent the entire time while the car was in the garage talking with Travis, trying to walk him through what he should be doing here in Chicago.
That's really good information he's getting from Matt Crafton, because a lot of times, yeah, you can hold the car out and make a wider arc into the corner, but if you chug that wheel just a little bit too much too soon, then you really get to you're not getting to the apex at the right, but you're not getting there. You've got the car too low already, and then you're having to put more wheel, and then it feels like the car is actually pushing when you can change your driving style a little bit. But that's just things that you have to learn as a driver, as getting that car perfectly to the apex, and you'll find that it might not be as tight off the corner as you thought.
Yeah, and I'm watching this session right here. This run he's making, he's gotten better the last 3 laps in a row. And you can see Crafton up there talking to him constantly. It's working. I mean, he's about a half a second quicker. He gained about a half a second over about 3 or 4 laps. And so Matt is doing a great job. He's a talented race car driver, and he's a good communicator. I think that they get along well.
And every race driver you ever see has to talk with their hands. You can see Matt out there. He's got one hand on his button talking, but his other one, he's literally driving the race car and talking with his hand.
Yeah. Matt 6th in the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series Championship, so he's got a lot going on, racing his truck, coaching Travis Pastrana. And, of course, Travis always has a lot going on. He ran the truck off-road series across the street here the last 2 nights, and last Saturday after the nationwide race in New Hampshire, the Global Rallycross race at the Magic Mile.
That stuff is crazy, man. Look at that. Going over the wall.
And he won it, by the way. Travis Pastrana in victory lane last Saturday in New Hampshire.
Look.
Beautiful view of the skyline of downtown Chicago, including the Willis Tower, as it's now known. And here's
we now know.
South of the city. Always leave that one thing hanging and somebody will fill you in pretty quickly. Thank you. Joliet, Illinois, the Chicagoland Speedway, where the NASCAR world is focused this weekend. NASCAR Camping World Truck Series running tonight. NASCAR Nationwide Series running on Sunday as the Sprint Cup Series enjoys its final weekend off for the year. By the way, can't wait to take over the coverage of the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway next weekend.
Exciting for these teams also, these nationwide teams, to have their first opportunity at the Brickyard.
Kenny Wallace out on track now, 09 car. And yes, both the 09 and 99 are being fielded this weekend. Kenny right now showing with the 17th fastest laps. Put in quite a few laps in this practice, 23 overall. I think the most we've seen is about 28 laps. Herm has been out there knocking around in his dirt cars over the Midwest over the course of the week.
I tell you, he's pretty good in that dirt car, too. He doesn't just go out there and knock around. He goes out there to win.
Yep. Kenny with the best finish this season of 7th out at the very fast 2-mile track in Southern California, Auto Club Speedway. And looking to see if he can't pick up his best finish of the season and improve that a little bit here at what is an important track for his sponsor for this season in this Nationwide Series, Family Farmers. Sam Hornish Jr. showing 3rd on the board, Vince.
And Sam is one of those with the blue spoiler on the back of the car, running for that $100,000 bonus in the Dash for Cash. But you've been standing in the garage for quite some time. What's the team working on your car?
We felt like we had a pretty decent baseline. There were some things that we wanted to try as a package, so it's going to take a little bit of time to get everything switched over. This session's a little bit cooler than what we're going to race in, obviously, so we figured it was a good time to do this, let the track heat up a little bit more, try to save our tires. Obviously, a lot more time than the amount of tires that we have right now, so we got to take our time.
We talked a lot on the telecast today about how well your team is running. What do you attribute the surge?
We've had really good reliability so far. So the days that we haven't been able to be good enough to win races, we've tried to maximize everything that we could by me bringing the car home, the team taking care of the doing a good job on the pit stops and just getting everything bolted together tight, because sometimes that's the most important part of it. So we just need a little bit of a 5% increment to get us up to that next level where we can compete for wins every weekend. And just real thankful to Lions Truck Parts for being there to support us last year and this year and moving forward.
AB?
Watch Sam when they get that changeover happen, and he buckles back in to come back out onto the racetrack in a little bit.
Yeah, it's an opportunity, like we were talking about. You don't get a lot of time on the track. No testing like we were talking about for the rookie drivers. So that's hurt you as a team. You want to go out there and try to learn new things and how a new package might work. Great opportunity for them to do that.
Here's Mike Wallace, 01 car. So Andy, as a team owner, and DJ as a driver, you were advocating on the side of how difficult it is for some of the younger drivers. Mike Wallace obviously has a lot of experience, but just to kind of tie all together the issue we were talking about earlier with the practice time and the testing and so on. If NASCAR came to you and said, we'll give you one more set of tires per weekend on a weekend like this where you have a lot of practice time, as a team owner, would you be in favor of something like that?
No, I would not be. I would not be in favor of anything that would make this series cost more money, and that's what that would do. Yep. Now, if I'm a crew chief, you didn't ask me as a crew chief, it would have been absolutely, give me a set of tires. I want to learn everything I can, but if you're going to phrase it as an owner, no, I don't want to see it.
But if you've got a rookie driver that you know needs that time on the racetrack, you're not willing to spend that extra couple of grand. You don't have to buy those tires, but the opportunity is there for you to. So, but I'm saying one more set where you could make some more laps yet, and that's probably the cheapest testing that you could possibly do. Is just being able to get that more, little bit more track time, whether it's 20, 30, 40 more laps for your rookie driver to have that opportunity.
It's one set of tires here, it's one there, and then all of a sudden, it costs a lot more than you can afford to do it. I vote no. I like to keep the cost down as much as possible. And it's the same for everybody.
And just that conversation is a great example of the difficulty you face when you're the rules maker. Robin Pemberton, Vice President of Competition, Joe Ballas, the Series Director for the Nationwide Series. Those are decisions they have to make. And whichever way they make that decision, somebody's going to disagree with it.
Oh, absolutely.
And probably
have half of it.
And probably disagree with it in a public forum that makes it seem like the officials aren't paying attention. But it really, in this case, something like that, it's not as easy as saying, well, just give them one more set of tires. Because it does, especially in a series like this. You know, Joe Gibbs Racing. They don't have fully funded Nationwide Series cars. Joe Gibbs Racing. And they're watching their budget in this series. For somebody like Ryan Truex, he'll take every lap you can get him to gain experience.
Yeah, and they can afford another set of tires.
But one more set of tires across 35 races is a lot of money.
Yeah, and there's a lot of rookie drivers that are in cars that don't have even way less funding than Joe Gibbs.
Yeah.
So those drivers, if you gave them an extra set of tires, say, hey, you can buy an extra, they still couldn't. And so the other rookies are getting a leg up on them. So that's why I would be not in favor of something that would cost more money for the series.
Yeah, well, it's never going to be fair for everyone involved, but I just think that it certainly would help. And again, to me, that's the cheapest way to go about getting them a little bit more experience of being able to do that. You're already here. You're already on the racetrack. You're spending all the money for the weekend. So, and I realize that, you know, but it wouldn't have to be at every single track. You know, a place like Daytona is not going to benefit you. Talladega is not going to benefit you. So, but it is still costing money, and certainly the costs are very high in this sport.
It's what we love about not just racing, but all sports. We don't all agree.
That's right.
That's right.
You're always coming from a different point of view. He's coming from a driver's point of view. I'm coming from an owner.
And Andy can speak with all three because he has driven. So as a driver, if he would speak, yeah, he would want that extra set of tires.
Yeah, he would.
As a crew chief, he's already said that he wants that. But he's getting that owner side of him.
Trent Owens, crew chief, watching James Buescher, his driver, in NASCAR Nationwide Series practice here at Chicagoland.
One of the great opportunities to visit one of the all-time great cities, Chicago, when you're here in Joliet at Chicagoland Speedway, as we are for this weekend's NASCAR Nationwide Series race. And the defending series champion, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., already out of the car and done with practice number 1, and we've still got some time to go. So I'm presuming that you're pretty happy with the race car. Is that true?
Not too bad. It's the first time we got Rancher's Reserve in Cargill beef on our Mustang this year, so we're looking to have a good showing for them. They're going to have a lot of people from Cargill here this weekend, and we look forward to putting them in victory lane, hopefully. But our Mustang's not too bad right now. I think, you know, we're going to save our stuff so we can run second practice. It's more of what time our race is going to be tomorrow. Going to be a little hotter tomorrow, so hopefully it'll get a little hotter throughout the day, and we can tune it in then. But good news is I feel great, and we're ready to go.
Yeah, I was going to say, last time a lot of fans saw you, you were laying on your back and you weren't looking too good, so it's good to see you smiling. How has the week been for you physically to get ready for this event here, another hot weekend?
Not too bad. You know, I played around the golf this week, Thursday, and I rested as long as I could. I just get so bored sitting around the house. So went and played golf. I learned how to do a back tuck right on the ground, so I can do that now. That was cool. And we're here. We're ready to go. We went and had dinner in Chicago last night. It's always cool coming here and being able to go into the city. And it's a really nice city. I like being here, and I'd really like to get a win here.
Yeah, glad you're feeling better. Ricky Stenhouse, Alan. Mike?
Thanks, Vince. The 43 team came into this weekend knowing it's an opportunity weekend. Michael Annett trying to capitalize. Taking a break here during this first session. How's the car?
It's pretty good. Miss our heights a little bit to start off, but we're making gains right now, just a little too free. You know, it's a fast free right now, but we know we got to be racy when the race starts. But yeah, these next 3 weeks are huge with the Nationwide Insurance Dash for Cash. Obviously, we were qualified last week and didn't run as well as we needed to allowed, and so this is another opportunity, a big weekend to get qualified for Indy and just having a blast. You know, I grew up not too far from here in Des Moines, Iowa, and actually lived not too far away in Barrington, Illinois for a year playing hockey when I was a junior in high school. So I just love being in the Midwest this time of the year. Definitely feels like home.
I know you want to make a big splash when you're this close to home. I spoke with your crew chief, Felipe Lopez, earlier in the week, and he told me you're coming with a setup very similar to what you had in Kentucky. He felt like maybe you hit on something in Kentucky with a career-best fourth-place finish. Has that setup adapted the way you guys expected?
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, Kentucky and Chicago, two of probably the roughest tracks we go to all year, and that was where we found some things for Kentucky that I think we really gained on and knew they'd benefit us here. So obviously, Kentucky and Chicago, two different tracks, some same characteristics, and we just you know, that's why we get 2 hours to tweak on it and make it good for tomorrow.
Good luck this weekend.
Thank you.
Michael Annett and the entire 43 team with very high hopes this weekend. In fact, Felipe Lopez told me he expects between the 43 car and the 6 car of Ricky Stenhouse, they expect to finish 1-2 on Sunday, Alan.
Well, I know somebody that'd like that a lot. That'd be the Ford racing people, if they can make that happen.
Jerry talked about the car being free, but fast free. The problem with that in practice is when you put all the cars together on the track for the race, it gets worse. It gets freer. So they know that. They got to tune for the conditions that they're going to be racing. And that's one thing I don't really understand why we don't see anymore how the cars would go out and run together. They would, back this probably 10 years ago now, they used to go out and practice and all run together like you were going to be racing. You never see them do that anymore.
When you were crew chief for Dale Earnhardt, you waited till you could go run with someone. I mean, I remember those days in the 90s and early 2000s. That's what we did, because you wanted to see how your car reacted, because that's what you're in. But they just look for the speed, and you hope that you get out front to where you make your car actually work like that now.
Yeah, the problem is that they go out there and tune just like you see Austin Dillon right now. They're tuning at 4-speed by themselves, and there'll be times in the race that they need to be like this. But when that race starts, it's going to be so much different than what they are right now. But they already know that, so they have to make adjustments to get the race started, and then they have to kind of undo them as the race goes on. But I don't know what they're working on this 3-car right now, but they're up in 7th so far, Vint.
Well, they've been getting it working to trying to get it to turn down into the center a little bit more, because when he has been doing that, it's been taken off. He was on the splitter earlier in the practice session, so they made a spring change, made a track bar adjustment, trying to get the ride heights well, and more than anything, just trying to get this race car to be comfortable to go over the bumps comfortably and then without losing speed. You know, having it comfortable and having it fast, as you guys know, sometimes two different things.
Yeah, sometimes, a lot of times, they don't go together at all.
Yeah, and as aero-sensitive as these cars are, I would think they'd be more beneficial to you to get out around some cars, too, to see how your car is going to react and make changes. And I think that's what we see a lot of times as they get into the race. These cars are so totally different than, you know, what they expected from practice. And they don't run, and I know that it goes back to that tire thing and being limited on the sets of tires, but at some point in time, you need to make a longer run. You know, Robert Yates, when I went to drive for him, we had to run at least 17 laps. I don't know where that number came from, but it had to be at least 17 laps in a practice session just to see, because that kind of seemed to be the number where the car would go through some changes.
By the way, you saw the shot of Gil Martin there on top of the truck, serving as crew chief for Austin Dillon again this week. Danny Stockman serving the second week of his suspension after the rules violations post-Daytona qualifying. They ran well together last week. Of course, both Austin Dillon as a driver in the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series and Gil Martin as a crew chief in the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series have won here at Chicagoland Speedway before.
And it's pretty nice when you can plug in a Gil Martin into that's a pretty strong team when you can do that.
Well, that's why you see the depth in this team is why they're so successful. And Richard Childress not only can draw from that for this series, but also in the Cup Series. He's got a lot of talented people over there.
Continuing our coverage of the opening practice for the NASCAR Nationwide Series. Final practice comes up after just a brief break. We'll have it for you live here on ESPN2 starting at 2 Eastern time. Also this weekend, Mopar Mile High NHRA Nationals qualifying 5 Eastern today here on ESPN2. NASCAR Nationwide Series qualifying on Sunday morning, 11:30 a.m. Eastern, ESPN2, followed by the American Le Mans Series Grand Prix of Mosport. That's at 1 Eastern time, ESPN2. The Nationwide Series race, the STP 300, Chicagoland Speedway, ESPN, 2 Eastern time. And we wrap up the motorsports weekend with the Mopar Mile High NHRA Nationals Finals, 7 Eastern tomorrow, ESPN 2. Imagine being the guy, or guys, or gals, who have to work on those antennas.
Not me.
On top of the Willis Tower in downtown Chicago.
Not me. I'm scared of heights.
I actually think it'd be kind of a cool view myself.
Yeah, maybe from there, too. That's the scoring.
All right, so imagine being the guy or guys that has to work on the top of the scoreboard here at Chicagoland Speedway. That'd be a pretty cool view, too, wouldn't it?
Nope, not me.
Well, at least you're consistent. All right, then let's try this. Wouldn't it be a cool view to be behind the wheel of this 38 car like where Brad Sweet is?
Heck yeah.
Doing 80 miles an hour right there into turn 3 at Chicagoland Speedway?
Yeah, but you're not that far off the ground.
It's all about height.
Until you go over those bumps right there.
It's a good thing you're not as tall as Brad Doherty. you'd be scared just walking around town. Brad Sweet been behind the wheel of an open-wheel dirt car for a series of sprint car races during the course of time between New Hampshire and here. Of course, you slide one of those sprint cars into the corner, back end in first.
Yeah. So you ask if they want to be behind the wheel. No, not just driving like that. He's going to have to get it driving better before I want to get in there.
Yeah. on a little bit of a tough run of luck here lately, has Brad Sweet in his time behind the wheel of this 38 car, but hoping for things to go more like they did. And remember that race out in California earlier this season when he just kept getting better and better and better as the race went on and ended up with that great finish of 6th.
Yeah, that was impressive to me. You could watch the progression and how he was learning and picking up on different things and just stepping like a stepping stone to the finish.
You know, you talk about teams working hard just to make it to the racetrack every week, right? Talking to John Monson, crew chief here for Jason Bowles and Randy McDonald Motorsports team. 4 people getting this car turned around, built, improved, and off to the racetrack week after week.
That's a lot of work for 4 people, I can tell you that. It's got to be tough on this team.
And yet, they show up every week with a well-prepared car. I mean, look, clean race car, well-prepared, and give it their all.
Yeah, and that's just the kind of dedication that it takes to want to be here week in and week out. And as you said, you know, they do a good job with what they have to work with. But, you know, my hat's off to them. That's kind of back to old school days whenever, you know, that's all that you had. But, you know, here they are competing against teams such as a Joe Gibbs Racing organization that, yeah, they don't have 400 people in the Nationwide Series program, but they have a lot of people to draw from there that certainly helps make it easier for them.
Just hoping for that finish, maybe somewhere between 10th and 15th every week, and show a little bit of what they can do and hope to attract some attention, some more sponsorship that will allow them to add some more people and have some more resources to move up the next level as they try to build that program.
And as a driver, you're just trying to have that time that someone notices you to where you can make that step, just like Ryan Truex. You know, we saw him come in last year and the first start and do extremely well, got a lot of attention to him, and you know, he went to Dover just back a few weeks ago, almost won the race there, Vince.
And when you get so close, it just whets your appetite and you just want it all the more. And Matt Lucas, the crew chief, certainly looking for his first win as a crew chief as well. And with Ryan Truex working together for their 2nd consecutive week, they hope for big things to happen this weekend. And he did run in this race last September here at Chicagoland, so he did not get that extra set of tires that are so valuable to some of these young race car drivers. But they're pretty happy with the car. He says it's stable and it's getting quicker, so they're going in the right direction.
Yeah, I think Dale said he'd buy him another set of tires.
I didn't say that's why I'm not an owner. I didn't say it.
If Coach Gibbs is listening, your phone's going to be ringing any second now. It was at Dover that Ryan Truex found himself leading with Joey Logano stalking him in the closing laps. Caught a lap car just at the wrong time, broke his momentum. Caught 2 lap cars, actually.
And broke his heart, too.
Yeah, and that gave Joey Logano the opportunity to steam on past. 6 laps to go and score the win.
Just a matter of time before he gets the win, though.
First back-to-back races of the season for Ryan Truex. He's in the field for Sunday. I got to tell you, that's going a whole lot faster than the traffic on the Eisenhower Expressway or the Kennedy or any of those highways around Chicago. Get on the boat.
That looks like the way to travel.
Yeah, it does. Follow one of those rivers south far enough and you come right by the racetrack here. Joliet, Illinois, Chicagoland Speedway, where NASCAR Nationwide Series practice. The opening practice, first of 2 today, is ongoing. Travis Pastrana, Danica Patrick among the drivers reviewing the adjustments and the handling of their cars with the team. Justin Allgaier back out for another run. Defending winner of this race, shown 11th fastest overall.
You see where he's running on the racetrack. He's running up a couple of lanes. I expect to see a lot of traffic up there, and the grooves really widen out, and cars running up top a lot, especially during these day races. And you have this rough surface. It really seems to enhance that, so you can go up there and run the upper groove a lot better than you do at, say, a night race.
You can already see the rubber beginning to burn in the groove, if you will, in this racetrack, and it's not just that one lane at the bottom. It's spread pretty wide already.
Yeah, and I expect that to widen out even more by tomorrow as we have a truck race here tonight, and I would think that they'll utilize that somewhat. So it should make it a lot wider track for these drivers to negotiate and try to get away from some of those bumps at times.
Listen to how little he's off the gas.
Yeah, you can carry it way down in there.
Yeah, these tapered spacers, you can't be out of the gas long, or you're just losing time. I mean, you want the car to be able to roll, but you have to be back in the throttle pretty hard.
There it is again.
Right back in it. Yeah. Not even looking at the bottom, though. You can see he's running up at least a couple of lanes. And I'm sure that you might be able to make a little faster lap time down there right now, but they're going to be racing up there, so it's a good idea to practice up there.
And a topic we'll explore tomorrow, how intense that is when you're just on the gas all the time, and so you're up on the wheel. These races at Chicagoland don't get a lot of caution flags. So now you're going to have a 95-degree day on a track where you're barely out of the gas, where you're not going to get a lot of breaks, if you will, in the action to regroup yourself. And boy, these drivers are going to work hard.
Yeah, they're going to be hard. It's going to be extremely hot inside these cars. You can see Elliott Sadler up there running. He knows that's what's going to transpire here too. But it's actually, as you get there and you're getting away from the bumps a little bit easier to drive there in the center of the racetrack. You don't have to turn the wheel quite as much. You can get in the gas. You feel like that you actually once you get that close to the wall, but makes it a little easier lap to make around here. But you really have to hustle the car.
Man.
Good times.
Yeah. So Elliott Sadler's second fastest lap posted in this opening practice session as Luke Lambert looks on, and this just the first of 2 practice sessions. They've only got 30 minutes to regroup, discuss any changes they might want to make, as Tony Eury Jr. and Danica Patrick are doing, make those changes and be ready for the final practice that comes up in just a half an hour from now.
So we got to get ready too.
Yep, have a quick bite to eat and buckle back in. NASCAR Nationwide Series final practice coming up just 30 minutes from now here on ESPN2. And a reminder, we'll also have live coverage of Nationwide Series qualifying for you tomorrow at 11:30 Eastern on ESPN2. And the race, the STP 300, starting with NASCAR Countdown over on ESPN tomorrow at 2 Eastern Time. The break between practice sessions will be fun. 2011 NHRA Thrills and Spills. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. Kyle Busch posted the fastest lap in the opening practice for the NASCAR Nationwide Series at Chicagoland Speedway. Final practice 30 minutes from now after NHRA action. We'll see you then.